It's time to set our intentions, set our self-care, and find our focus. This is Mindful Mondays with Saharah Ali on KBLA Talk 1580.
And what a blessing to start this week with a meditation instructor, yoga teacher, sound bath specialist, sound healer, life coach, astrologer, and so much more. Saharah Ali with Mindful Mondays. Welcome.
Good morning, Dominique, and good morning, KBLA family. Welcome to Mindful Mondays, where we get our minds right for the week by setting positive intentions, honoring our mind and body through meditation, prayer, and affirmation. As we step unapologetically into our week, being on purpose with our faith, truth, wisdom, and power. Our Mindful Monday affirmation this week is, today I choose self-love, detoxing my life, trusting self-empowerment to heal outdated beliefs. Today, I choose self-love, detoxing my life, trusting self-empowerment to heal outdated beliefs. Our Mindful Monday task this week is to take an emotional detox. Take an emotional detox from unhealthy habits, activating self-empowerment, and asking ourselves the questions, why am I hanging on to the past, giving my power away? How does the past serve my life? We're in a season of rebirth. The time is ripe to let go of the past, to restructure all aspects of ourselves, reframing how to build a new foundation, challenging our beliefs to create positive change, and healing our minds, bodies, and spirit. Some of us are stuck. Some of us are overwhelmed and even extra stressed due to various things that we are experiencing at this time. However, it's important to look inside of ourselves, to look for happiness, to lean into emotional management and self-empowerment. Self-empowerment is that key that will allow us to rethink our priorities, to get down to the bottom line, and to manifest our wholeness. And detoxing our lives provide an opportunity to dive deeper into personal issues, giving stability and inspiration to a new start. Most of all, move from darkness to light, reaping our true harvest with love and grace. So let's move forward today with our Mindful Monday meditation to unapologetically choose self-empowerment through emotional detoxing as our call to action. So be still for a moment and take a breath. And as you exhale, pause and be right here, right now, open to releasing resistance and opening to having a new expectation here and now. Take the biggest breath that you've had all morning. And as you exhale, open to receiving divine guidance and divine wisdom to embrace your life's purpose as you exhale, to embrace your life's gifts. And now inhale, open yourself to a deeper state of personal power, resting your mind, calming your spirit. Yes, inhale, rest your mind, calm your spirit. And as you exhale, allow self-love to affirm your wholeness right here, right now. And just breathe, sitting with that dynamic of claiming your wholeness right here, right now. Take a breath. And as you exhale, set the intention to detox, to let go of what no longer supports your highest good, letting go of what no longer supports your mental health. Just breathe and relax, calming your mind, calming your body. Just let go. And now inhale, consciously decide to embrace wholeness, the wholeness which allows you to be ready for goodness to unfold in your life. And exhale with confidence, being bold and present and ready to reshape your future and your life. Inhale, giving yourself permission to stand in clarity and willing to let go of emotional opposition to all things stifling your growth towards positive change right here, right now. And now exhale, ready to release, ready to stand in your power, trusting divine right action will support the unfoldment of all of our highest good. And now just breathe and relax and open your heart and mind to our Mindful Monday affirmation again. Just relax, release, and let go, anchoring yourself, and honor our Mindful Monday affirmation with love and compassion. Today, I choose self-love, detoxing my life, trusting self-empowerment to heal outdated beliefs. Today, I choose self-love, detoxing my life, trusting self-empowerment to heal outdated beliefs. And remember, as you think, so shall it be. So be mindful to think about what you want and engage in actions of wholeness and have compassion for yourself as we take this journey through transformation. We have some really major astrological shifts calling for us to reframe who we are willing to be empowered. We are having a shift. Pluto is going into Aquarius. It hasn't been there since 1778 to 1798. And we know about the American Revolution. We know about the French Revolution. And we know about the shift in power. And we are at that stage. And for us to have emotional management is so important to be discerning as to what are we willing to create. Because with Pluto and Aquarius, we get to have collective consciousness. We get to come together as a grassroots. We get to change ourselves and empower ourselves and transcend the archaic beliefs and programs that we have been under for so long. And so just pause for a moment and be in your power and focus on the wisdom and truth that is in your soul and give yourself permission to know this too shall pass and to stand in our truth and live for what we want and not what we don't want. Thank you, Dominique, Tavis Smiley, Miles, and the 1580 KBLA family. Have an unapologetic, mindfully blessed week, choosing self-love, detoxing, and embracing self-empowerment to align to your highest good right here, right now.
Thank you for that, Saharah Ali. 1778 has a familiar ring to it. So we're talking about big, big, big cosmic changes, sounds like.
For 40 years we will be able to shift what we have been under for 200 years. And so this is the awakening, and just like in any awakening, you have to go to the extreme. You have to see what you're working with. You have to see the enemy. You have to know where they're coming from so that you know how to plan and direct and rebuild and restructure for self.
40-year transit. So your 4-year cruise ain't going to do it. You would need a 40-year cruise. And we also have, we're going into a Mercury retrograde next week, right?
Yeah, we're in retro shade right now. Mercury goes retrograde on the 26th. It's a short one till November 14th. But,
December 14th.
2 weeks after. Yeah, November, to December 14th.
Yeah.
So it's in retro shade right now. So you can still, because if you started something 2 weeks ago, 2 months ago, you can make closure with it. And so the retrograde will help you have clarity in that closure, but don't start something from the beginning during the retrograde. But if you've already started something, you can complete it and have more clarity in that completion.
All right, so it sounds like we're going to have to give ourselves plenty of grace and take our time during the Thanksgiving week, right? Which, next week.
Well, I think, on the Thanksgiving week, with Pluto going in Aquarius, a lot of family stuff will be on the table to be revisited, to be reframed, and to be healed, if possible. And if not, keep on pushing.
But then also, I was reading something, I think something you sent me, about how with the Mercury retrograde being in Sagittarius, we might have to be a little bit more gentle with our words and not just clobber our family members the way we, be a little bit more careful maybe around those conversations.
Most definitely, because Mars is in Leo. The queen has to have her say, and she has to drop the mic, or the king has to do his thing and drop the mic. So, yes, we have to be patient and witness and let those that need to feel power, give them that for their own undoing. Because this, it's a time where whatever negativity, whatever emotional mismanagement, wherever you are not being in your wholeness and this arrogance and the ego and the vanity, all of that is about coming to the surface and facing the shame that it brings, especially, I don't want to say, I'll say it, especially if it's ratchet, okay?
Right.
Or
So,
if it's
I
why
mean,
it's like,
right. So when I was reading about like Mercury retrograde in Sagittarius, I felt like the theme song for all of us next week and for the next few weeks might be Kendrick Lamar, Be Humble. Sit down.
most definitely sit down and be humble and go inside. Because Sagittarius rules the superconscious mind. Go into the world behind your eyes and bring clarity, because Sagittarius is part of that third eye vision to give you a higher truth. So, yes, take the high road.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people have been talking about whether they would even have holidays with their relatives and loved ones who voted for Trump, whether they should just cut them off. Definitely. That's just one example. There's always family history and that can bring drama. So I just
And
noted. Go ahead.
I love you saying that, because here we are with emotional management. And this is part of that example of why that clown is where he is, because we have this intense emotion with our families, with our loved ones, over his shenanigans, disempowering us in our truth. Love is love. And if you vote for a clown, then you vote for a clown. But love is love. You cannot let this clown divide your house.
I mean, and if you vote for a clown, don't be surprised when you get a circus. I mean, that's the other thing.
That's right.
But
that's the part right there.
But
and that's the ownership that needs to be realized, that you voted for a clown, so you're going to get what you get, all in your box of Cracker Jacks. I read somewhere some people are now going to have to do their own housework because certain people won't be able to do that housework now. So you vote for a clown, get your vacuum cleaner out, okay?
Yeah, well, but
get
look,
your gloves and
I
start
mean,
scrubbing.
but I was also circling back to what you said, like, and we were talking about it in a family dynamic, but you could also look at it in a public arena as well, which is you give people the power and grandiosity that they crave, so that they, for their own undoing, it kind of sounds a little bit like give them enough rope. And
exactly.
Let them.
You sound like my grandmother. Give them enough rope and let them hang themselves. I'll say it if you can.
Well, yeah.
It'd be a different kind of loose out there, right? You know?
Yeah.
It's a blind hysteria, and this is what happens when we come to an end of a major transit like Pluto and Capricorn, which gave us the crumbling of structure, so that it can be restructured, so it can be rebuilt. And so it goes down to the sieve, down to the bottom, and all the yucky, mucky stuff has to come up. And so as the mucky stuff comes up, don't give your power to it. It's not real, it's an illusion. So stay in your power and don't feed it. Wash it away.
Thus the focus on what we want, not what we don't want part.
Exactly.
As our daily mantra. And then for the next maybe 3-4 weeks, that goes along with be humble. Sit down.
And so the thing is, bless them for they know not what they do.
Yeah.
Bless them for they know not what they have done. Right?
Indeed. Boy, that can be a little challenging, but we're going to do it. We're going to stay on that page. Thanks to you, Saharah Ali, and our determination to not give up our power and to focus on what we want.
Choose self-love, detox your life, and trust in self-empowerment to heal outdated beliefs. Choose self-love.
Boom, mic drop. Saharah Ali, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, KBLA family. Have a blessed, beautiful week, and be careful driving in the retro shade and the retrograde.
All right, SaharahAli.com. That's where you can find her. You can go to a sound bath, be on time. SaharahAli.com. Perfect time to call me, 800-920-1580. We are KBLA Talk 1580.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward. Are you an entrepreneur looking to take your business to new heights? KBLA Talk 1580 is your partner in success. Every day, we celebrate and elevate Black-owned businesses across our community. Our KBLA SMB Marketplace currently features The Cookie Dip, Badass Bakes, Hair Concoction, Higher Education Accreditation Consulting, LACC Radiology Technology Department, and Malik Books. Your business deserves to be heard. Let KBLA Talk 1580 amplify your voice and connect you with our powerful community of listeners. Email smb@kbla1580.com today. That's smb@kbla1580.com. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your flag.
Here's another great reason to use the United States Postal Service this season. When sending a package, why venture outside? Ship with USPS for a true holiday ride. Want to stay cozy and warm? There's no need to roam. With free package pickup and labels printed from home. We have over 600,000 employees always in motion. And before you know it, your gift has delivered emotion. Spread the holiday joy this season with USPS's enhanced network. Learn more at USPS.com/holidayride.
On your period, sudden gushes happen without warning. But now, you can say goodbye to stand-up gush fears. Thanks to Always Ultra Thins with rapid dry technology. It absorbs gushes 2 times faster than the leading store brand and gives you up to 100% leak-free protection. Hello, clean and comfortable with Always Fear No Gush.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks vapors in an easy-to-apply stick. And it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks Vapo Stick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And when you need more comfort for yourself, try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks vapors. Use as directed. Vapo Stick for use ages 4 and up. Vapo Shower Max use for adults only.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Sinex Saline Nasal Spray?
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultra-fine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
The conversation continues right now with Dominique DiPrima on First Things First.
Yeah, so remember when... Okay, so a couple of people led by one of the daughters of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., I believe, are saying that we want to avoid saying this guy's name. Just going along with 45. I put it in my story. I can't remember all of the things, but I love this idea of putting the onus and the responsibility onto the Republican Party, because it's not just the president-elect, it's all of the enablers, it's the oligarchical brosphere, right? The tech bros, the Peter Thiels and the Elon Musks, the big money guys. And so I think there's some sense to that, putting the onus on the party. They want to just say it's this one aberration, but they are now the MAGA party, the MAGA Republican New Confederate Authoritarian Party. So if you hear me say, and I did that, for many years, I just called him He Who Shall Not Be Named. I like to say Drumpf because that is the name that they had when they immigrated to this country. Yes, they immigrated to this country from Germany. And I think it was Daddy Drumpf that changed the name to something that sounded more American and coincidentally like something you might find in a casino. But anyway, So that I like that guidance, and there's some other guidance that I found helpful as far as just staying on point, being as factual as possible, being careful to verify and double verify, and not getting caught up in the okey doke. So good stuff there. Thank you, Ms. King. And along those lines, remember when they were saying they insisted, including the Orange Menace, insisting that they knew nothing about Project 2025. Project 2025 wasn't the plan. Why are the libs harping on Project 2025? Well, they've just appointed, the Republicans just appointed the new head of the Federal Communications Commission, the man who wrote the section of Project 2025 dealing with the Federal Communications Commission. Coincidence? I don't think so. His name is Brendan Carr, and he was the senior Republican on the FCC. Now, obviously, what does this mean for us? Could mean a lot of things. I mean, you're listening to an FCC-regulated entity, a radio station, that's very critical of the Republican Party. So, it could mean a lot of things. It's interesting, one of the first things this guy said is that he wants to get rid of all diversity, equity, and inclusion within the FCC. Now, if you think about the fact that the overwhelming majority of radio and television stations are owned by white people, the overwhelming majority are owned by conservatives, and that there are only 5 black-owned talk radio stations in this entire nation, that's not by accident. So thousands of right-wing chatterboxes affirming MAGA points, authoritarian points day in, day out. This guy is already saying, and the FCC has had some programs to help so-called minorities buy radio and television stations, to help black-owned entities get their ratings and other things at a reduced cost. And some of that stuff has been in place for decades. Some of it came out of the protests of 2020. Well, he's made it plain that he plans to get rid of all of that. He's also said that he wants to get rid of the so-called anti-right-wing bias in social media and unleash them to allow them to say whatever they want, meaning the disinformation and misinformation will go unchecked. And he's already come out and said that he's against net neutrality, meaning that now these big internet companies will be able to muzzle content that they don't like. Nonprofits and others who have websites that don't have big bucks to spend can be slowed down to where they're so frustrating that they become basically inaccessible. This is who this guy is. He also happens to be a very close friend of Elon Musk and has said repeatedly that Elon Musk is a warrior for free speech. So, you vote for a clown, don't be surprised when you get a circus. Big Phil from LA, you have the mic.
Yes, good morning. The devil don't sleep. Look here, let me tell you one. I got 2 parts. I'm going to do one part now. Clem Harris, she got beat pretty bad. I mean, she looked at the next day, she looked like she was a lost puppy. I mean, I feel for the sister. Understand this. Donald Trump is a master of manipulation.
But just to be clear, clear before you finish, the Electoral College win was overwhelming. The popular vote win was not that broad. Just to be clear, because they're making it sound like it was a landslide and they have a mandate, and that's not really true.
Okay. Here's another thing I found out. I watched PBS about his background. Donald Trump was a manipulator, a master. He came a cadet. He had all honors in cadet. Cadets still got to be extremely smart. So that's why he's so good at manipulating people, the masters, okay? And Tavis Valley said that that Obama played his cards wrong, which he did dealing with the black. He should have went after Donald Trump. And I agree with Tavis Valley on that, okay? And I wish the sister well. And like I say, I don't get too much color for this politics stuff. They just ripped off $500 million for the homeless. Where all the money goes? Huh? That's why my mother could be a politician. There's a lot of cookie games. But $500 million. Where the money go, Dominique?
I mean, I think we can see where some of it went, but we know there's major transparency problems. And what's weird to me is that the governor of California unveiled that, and we haven't seen a rigorous plan to improve transparency. We'll get Big Phil's part 2, and you can call as well after news, traffic, and sports, only on KBLA Talk 1580.
The station you turn to when you've had it up to here with cultural incompetence. KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Bree Wood with 4 things you should know from BIN News. The FBI reports an increase in racist and offensive texts into minorities, including Latino and LGBTQ communities. Some messages falsely claim recipients were selected for deportation or re-education camps. This follows similar reports targeting black people last week. At last check, 8 monkeys are still on the loose in South Carolina. They escaped a research facility last week, and the total number of recaptured monkeys has now reached 35. The remaining monkeys are reportedly hiding in the woods near the facility as police use traps to try and catch them. A judge has struck down President Biden's new overtime pay rule, which expanded eligibility to 4 million workers. The judge ruled that the rule improperly based eligibility on wages instead of job duties. And GM is laying off about 1,000 employees. The Detroit, Michigan automaker announced the cuts as part of an effort to trim costs and streamline operations due to changing market conditions. Get BIN News on demand 24/7 at BINnews.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. Blindster is a family-run business that began in 2010, and we've sold millions of custom blinds, shades, and shutters and received over 100,000 five-star reviews. Don't hire an expensive pro. Do it yourself and save big at Blindster.com.
Is this the time? This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
It was a good day Sunday for both of LA's NFL teams. We start with the Chargers. They got a 29-yard touchdown run from running back J.K. Dobbins with 18 seconds left in the fourth quarter to get past Cincinnati 34-27. The Chargers are 7-3 for the first time since 2018. The Rams are 5-5 after a 28-22 road win at New England. Clippers guard James Harden is now number 2 on the NBA's all-time list for three-pointers. Harden hit 2 three-pointers last night in the Clippers win over Utah to move past Ray Allen. The 35-year-old Harden has 2,975 three-pointers. Steph Curry has the record with 3,782. Curry and the Warriors are in town tonight to play the Clippers at the Intuit Dome. Top 5 college football teams in this week's AP Top 25 poll: Oregon, Ohio State, Texas, Penn State, and Tavis Smiley's Indiana Hoosiers. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why, when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million-plus products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them, the right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
I occasionally have nerve discomfort in my hands, so the things I love to do...
Let's play something, Grandma.
...became difficult as I got older.
If you have occasional stabbing and burning in your hands and feet, try Nervive Nerve Relief. Nervive's clinically studied dose of alpha-lipoic acid reduces occasional nerve discomfort in as little as 7 days with continued daily use. Say yes to healthy nerves with Nervive Nerve Relief. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about. KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. The Los Angeles Regional Food Bank is on a mission to fight hunger and provide nutritious food to those in need across our community. They partner with federal, state, and local programs advocating for better policies and funding for critical hunger relief programs like Cal Fresh, the Emergency Food Assistance Program, and the Child and Adult Care Food Program. The food bank works with coalitions and local representatives to make sure hunger is addressed in every district of LA County. They also run nutrition education campaigns, raise hunger awareness, and source nutritious food for distribution, all while supporting regulations that allow food pantries to operate safely. Want to help? Visit lafoodbank.org or call 323-234-3030 to volunteer or find a food bank near you. Together, we can ensure that no one goes hungry in Los Angeles County. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
One bank, yeah. California Crusader newspaper would like to thank all of our subscribers for their support throughout the years, proudly serving the South Los Angeles and South Bay areas for more than 40 years. The California Crusader is a multicultural, black-owned, adjudicated newspaper that focuses on providing newsworthy information to the people in our community. We're constantly looking for ways to assist businesses in our community to connect with our subscribers. We provide low-cost, effective ways to promote your business with our reasonable and affordable advertising rates. You can participate by suggesting, sharing, and submitting your stories on the California Crusader newspaper Community Share Facebook group page, or visit our website at cal-cruise-news.com. That's calcruisenews.com. Then click on the Submit Now button located on the top right corner of the homepage, or text CCN to 42828. Again, text CCN to 42828. The California Crusader newspaper, working together to build a better community for our future. Subscribe today.
This is KBLA Talk 1580, where hate loses and love wins.
Yeah, Fahima sent me an article about Project 2025 and how we have to resist the implementation of that massive document created by the Heritage Foundation as a blueprint for what to do if the 45th President of the United States would be elected to be the 47th President. And I haven't read the massive document, but I've read a lot about it, excerpts from it. I'm pretty clear what it's meant to do, and it is quite petrifying. But when I was reading it before, I was reading it with the lens that it would help us realize why we shouldn't elect 45 to be 47. And I really didn't think that was going to happen. But it has happened. And whether they cheated or not, he still won the fight, as they say. So that means that we do have to pay attention to it. And the fact that it's really important not to just say, oh, well, they won, throw up our hands, is something I want to emphasize. We talked about that at the beginning of the day with James Farr. Yeah, it's upsetting and it's crazy. If they cheated, maybe not as many people are delusional as we thought, but if they didn't cheat, they are. Either way, we got to deal with where we are right now. And we are built for this. We are the ones that pay attention. We are the ones that care. And hopefully that becomes trendy and infectious. And so I think that you're right, Fahima. This, organization called the Freedom from Religion Foundation is talking about how Project 2025 specifically takes aim at broadcasters. And in this article that she sent me, they're talking about public broadcasting, which was under attack under Bush administrations. So you can, two of them. So you can imagine under the MAGA New Confederate regime, what we're looking at. They feel that public broadcasting stations are too liberal, which is hilarious because they're fastidiously trying to be neutral. And I remember when they came under attack under the Bush administration, how you could notice, because I do listen to some public radio and I watch some public television, you could see how they tried to shift to the right, even within their so-called neutral framework. They went out of their way. And since that time, we've had the scandal with the supposed left-wing bias of the public radio newsrooms. And I say supposed because I listen to it. And overall, on balance, it's on the moderate side, moderate to center-right side, even though they do have pretty rigorous standards about being so-called neutral, which I don't think is actually possible. So they're targeting that in Project 2025, and they're also targeting us. And this is not paranoia. The guy, Brendan Carr, the new FCC chair, he's already said it right out the box. And he's right in line. Now, he was one of the people that was calling for TikTok to be banned, saying that it was the influence of the Chinese government, blase, blase, blah. But at that time, the 45th president was also saying that. He who shall not be named has since pivoted. And now he suddenly loves TikTok. So we'll see if Brendan Carr makes that pivot with the president-elect. But he was calling for the banning of TikTok. He has, since being elected, stated that we have to get DEI out of broadcasting. Well, it's been almost impossible for any person of color, and I've said this before, any black person especially, to get a television or a radio station, especially not a national one, but anyone at all, right? You've got to be a superhero. You've got to be a Stevie Wonder or a Tavis Smiley. If you're not, then you better be a billionaire with billionaires backing you up. And so if they're going to shut down the tiny little doorways that allow our superheroes to get in, that's a wrap. And we'll see. And then looking at net neutrality, right? Which means when we talk about the equal access that the internet has provided for artists and political activists and others, because we can all put up a website, we can all go on social media and build a following. Well, when you end net neutrality, it means that these internet companies, which are privately held businesses, even though they probably should be public utilities, they're privately held businesses. They can choose who to throttle, meaning slow down their website, their YouTube channel, whatever it is, slow down the internet, and who to give privilege and priority. Net neutrality, making the internet neutral, free and fair, was something that actually came back under the Obama administration, went away, came under 45, came back, if I remember correctly, under Biden. And now it's going to, if this Brendan Carr guy has his way of, and remember, this is the guy who wrote the section on the Federal Communications Commission inside Project 2025. If he's able to move that, and I don't know why he wouldn't, it's going to make the landscape a lot tougher, if not impossible, for black-owned, so-called minority-owned, alternative voices on the internet, as well as in traditional broadcast spaces. Great time to download the KBLA 1580 app. Great time to support your local black-owned media, because it's going to be, we're clearly, this new FCC chair has made it clear he is going to be targeting us. There was an article in Politico, which is, by the way, a Republican-leaning paper. I don't know if it's a paper, website. And the headline was, "The bureaucrat who could deliver billions to Elon Musk." Why did they say that? Because the federal government subsidizes internet and broadcast entities. This guy, Brendan Carr, just so happens to be really good friends with Elon Musk. Elon Musk owns an internet company, Starlink, and they are eligible or could be eligible for massive federal dollars. How is this legal? How is it legal for a guy who has contracts with the government to be in charge of government efficiency? How is it legal for the BFF of the richest man in the world who owns an internet company to steer money towards Starlink? How is it legal for these billionaire foxes to be in charge of the public hen house? Clear conflict of interest, clear self-dealing. I need somebody to explain this to me. We need to get a lawyer on the show. Oh, wait, we have a lawyer on the show. Next hour, we'll be joined by Attorney Nana Drumpf. She's here to talk about immigration, though, because she's the executive director of Black Alliance for Just Immigration. But maybe I can sneak in a question about the FCC on the side. Make it make sense. It's not just the FCC. It's like every branch of government. Make it make sense. Love to hear from you. As always, I always love to hear from you. 800-920-1580. We are KBLA Talk 1580, 40 acres and a mic.
More of First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million-plus products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them. The right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Point!
Hey, you okay? You don't normally miss those shots.
I just haven't been as regular lately, and it's making me feel sluggish.
You should try Metamucil. It's been a game changer for me. Metamucil's plant-based psyllium fiber helps trap and remove the waste that weighs you down.
Ace!
You're moving better than you were last week.
Definitely.
Metamucil keeps you moving. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Learn more at metamucil.com.
This season, Chevy brings classic pairings, cookies and milk, mistletoe and kisses, and your holiday plans and a new Chevy. Silverado 1500 gives you power and capability with 430 pound-feet of torque to haul your holiday tree. Equinox EV and the all-new Equinox offer award-winning quality and style to see you through the holiday season. See why Chevy makes everything better and brighter. Chevrolet, together let's drive.
Tips to help improve basic steps for building a budget in 2024. Building a budget can help you achieve and reach your financial goals. With a budget, you can keep track of your spending, avoid and get out of debt, limit overspending, pay bills on time, and build solid savings habits. What's the best way to get started? Figure out how much to set aside for expenses, like rent, mortgage, bills, groceries, and entertainment. Understanding your past financial habits can help you make the proper adjustments for your budget. Adjusting to a budget can take time as you work to find the right balance, but keep working on it. For more financial health tips, visit chase.com or stop by a local branch. This segment is sponsored by J.P. Morgan Chase & Company.
We've got a lot to talk about.
Are you interested in catching up on all the latest entertainment news, trending topics, and exciting interviews? I got you. Tune in to The Raw Report with Robin Ayers, Monday through Friday, 6 to 7 p.m. I'm your host, Robin Ayers. Join me every weekday with some of the best entertainment contributors in the business as we break down what's going on, who's got next, and what not to miss. Only on The Raw Report with Robin Ayers.
Unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black. Find a righteous rage and don't be afraid to say what you see. We're KBLA Talk 1580.
And by the way, the air quality in our KBLA studio is rated a 6. No, it's an 8. Which is good. Little to no health risk. Outside in the Leimert Park area and of Los Angeles, we're at a 56, which is moderate. That means it's not bad. Sensitive individuals could experience irritations, but it's a great time to go out and get you a run or a walk in. That's the reading from IQ Air, and it's brought to you by KBLA Talk 1580. Meanwhile, India's capital is experiencing air pollution at 50 times the legal limit. And I pray this is not what we have to look forward to, as deregulation is at the top of the agenda for the incoming Republican administration. I'm looking at these pictures from India. You can barely see the buildings in New Delhi. Toxic smog. 83 million people there that can barely breathe. Okay, hopefully that's not where we are heading. But back to Fahima's point about Project 2025, yes, we do have to resist it at every turn. The way this is manifesting in the Federal Communications Commission is just one tiny piece of this document, which was meant to create a way of rapidly enacting this authoritarian new Confederate Republican agenda by training up and background checking all these folks that can fill in for longtime professional civil servants and replacing people. And make no mistake, a lot of those will be black people because those government jobs are one of the ways into the middle class that we've seen for black and other BIPOC people in this country. So they're going to be rooted out and replaced with loyalists. One good thing about that is that they've trained them, and we'll see if they actually know how to do the job, and I'm hoping that means that they will be inefficient and not be ready, but I wouldn't bet the farm on that, because this has been the whole purpose of Project 2025, was to be able to quickly enact massive changes. James Farr said to be careful. He doesn't want me going down the toilet. I don't think that I'll be going down any toilets. I stay prayed up and spiritually elevated to the best of my ability. Of course, I'm human. Sometimes I do dumb stuff, but I understand what he meant. What he meant is that although a lot of us feel that the new Confederate Republican tech bro fascists cheated on the election, that until we have irrefutable proof, we don't want to be them going, stop the steal, stop the steal. You know, take back the hack, take back the hack. But I also don't want to be naive. Certainly if anyone could hack the election, it's those guys, right? And I'm not saying that we should no longer be evidence-based, but I am saying we should be clear-eyed and consider corruption, cheating, blowing up of norms, lying. Lying, we know that. I mean, that's well documented. So you don't want to be reactionary, but you do have to consider who you're dealing with and look at what they've done in the past as a means of perhaps predicting and understanding what they will do in the future. So, yeah, that's all. That's all I'm saying, and I do believe the truth will come out. Because they slick, but they ain't that slick. And I do believe in focusing on what I want, and that is organizing, resisting, celebrating our wins, whether they're large or small, right? And so I'm here for that. But I'm also here to do my best to try to make sure we know what we're up against. Make sure we know what we're dealing with. To call a spade and a fascist. And so the Project 2025, the tracking of it and understanding how it's being implemented and being very clear that this was another lie because it's already quickly being put into action. The guy who wrote the FCC part, pages 246 through 248 of Project 2025, according to this article, Mandate for Leadership, specifically targets NPR and Pacifica radio stations, what they call non-commercial education stations, and wants to move them from the desirable low end of the radio spectrum. So, in other words, they want to move them so religious programming can replace their spot on the dial. That is very Machiavellian. And, you know, I'm not quite sure how that happens. They have certain number of spaces on the airwave spectrum that are set aside for educational non-commercial programming. And, you know, in many markets, those are great signals. They're strong signals. Powerful. where they want to move them to these little puny, hard-to-get signals and put religious programming and indoctrination onto those. That's totalitarianism, people. Let's go to Eric calling us from Carson. Good morning, Eric.
Good morning.
What's on your mind today?
I have a statement and a question.
Go
on. Every Trump supporter that I've met, they're typically atheists. These are the ones that I've met.
Really?
And they're yeah. And they're actually intelligent, above average education individuals. And I thought about this and I said, in my opinion, Biden should have never did any political debates. He had to know that he had to know that he was, not on his A game, at least presentation wise. So if he had said, I'm not going to take any debates and I'm going to run, and I think he would have had a very good chance of getting reelected if he had did that. And then once he became president, he could have stepped down and allowed Kamala to be the president of the United States. I don't think there was any way possible that she was going to win. That's just my opinion, as much as I like her.
Now, when you say that, are you talking about because of the short runway or because she's a black, Asian, and woman person?
Both. I think it wasn't enough time, and I don't think the world is ready for what she was selling. And I think that if he was going to step down, he should have stepped down earlier so they could have found a more realistic candidate. So with that being said, I'm college educated and I have a pretty good job. None of that's relevant, but it's relevant because I'm not educated in politics. So if I can come up with this theory and my limited viewpoint, how is it that these people it's under their purview, why didn't they come up with this?
Well, you can't tell a president to step down. I mean, that was kind of Tavis's point all along, is that he said he was a transitional president, and others have said that. So he should have never planned to run for re-election. That would have made him an instant lame duck, which is also problematic. But, I think all of those things may be right, but it's too late now, unless we can prove they cheated, which, I'm here for that. But to your other point about Trump voters being, I said it, didn't mean to say it, about that guy's voters being atheists. I haven't seen that. I mean, I don't know. Maybe, I think there's a great documentary called Bad Faith. We had the editor, one of the producers on here. It really details how the Republican Party and these new Confederates have manipulated a lot of people using their religious beliefs. But that's interesting. I wonder if that's a California thing or if it's a strain of the Republican Party, because we know that the younger generations, if you believe in these statistics, are moving away from organized religion and into a more general spiritual category. I don't know. The intelligent part, my own family member, I've told this story, who voted for this guy, is extremely intelligent. It's the white side of the family, though. Very intelligent, very well read, and just spewing out the talking points in a way that made me never want to talk to that person again.
Well, can I give a plug?
Yes, please.
And so I'm a member of Central Baptist Church in Carson, California. And my mother, Joyce Green, she went to Sunday school this past Sunday, and this is what they discussed. So I can't take credit for this. But they discussed that God is in control. And whether you're a religious person or not, God is in control. And their theory, the two Sunday school teachers, Ron Johnson and Ricky Grover, their position is this: the United States of America is being punished by God for all of the negative and hatred things that they've done, not just to African Americans, but to Hispanics, to everything, this whole country, the manner in which it was built, which I love and we benefit from. And I want you to understand that. But this country was built on lives and thievery. And so their theory is that the United States is being punished, and whether you understand it, whether we understand it or not, you must have faith that God is in control and and that man, who will remain nameless, is in position by design.
Well, I always love hearing these theories, and we will certainly see how this is going to unfold. Eric, I appreciate the call. It's time for news, traffic, and sports. And we're talking immigration with attorney Nana Gyamfi on KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Bree Wood with 4 things you should know from BIN News. The FBI reports an increase in racist and offensive texts into minorities, including Latino and LGBTQ communities. Some messages